Alright everybody, welcome back to Powered by Primus, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Wave 5. Now we did just get an update and a really cool article that's going to give us a really nice jumpstart into Wave 5. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Alrighty, so Wave 5 has been officially announced, and the name of it is going to be Titan Masters Attacks. Now, there's going to be quite a bit to unwrap with this beautiful box, as well as all the things we're going to be showing off here in just a second. But just even looking at the box art, we have Optimus Prime looking all good like he normally does, but we also have a floating head, which is going to be very relevant when it comes to talking about this set, and we'll get into here in just a second. Now, if you do look at the side of the box over there, you are going to be getting two different things that you can get inside of your pack, which is really, really interesting. The first one being you can get one head and a body. Again, we're going to talk about it here in just a second, or you can get one full character card and one stratagem. Again, something new we will be talking about here, which is a completely new card coming to the Transformers TCG, and then here's just some beautiful pack art for you to check out as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Cosmos, because we're going to be able to show off some really cool stuff talking about these stratagems here first. Now, Cosmos has this: when you reshuffle your deck while it is attacking, you get to KO the defender if it has 12 or fewer stars. However, what happens if your opponent has, 13 stars or more? Well, it essentially renders Cosmos useless, and you don't really get to use him. We do have one player here who's been using Cosmos pretty regularly since Wave 1, and this has always been one of the biggest issues with the character, is that you have to choose if you want to mainboard it, sideboard it. Things get really interesting. Well, let me introduce you to our new and first stratagem that we're going to be checking out. I introduce you to Orbital Strike, which is going to be our first stratagem. Now, if you do look on the bottom of the card, the first thing we're going to talk about is that there are going to be 30 of these bad boy cards coming in with Wave 5, and this card does cost 1 star card. Now, these are not going to be cards that you are going to have to put in your deck, so you won't have to worry about that, as far as drawing it. However, this does take up 1 star when it comes to your starting total. So this will add 1 more star towards your Cosmos. Now, this card is called Orbital Strike, Autobot Cosmos, Recon, and Communication. It's going to have the same art as the card, and it does say replace the text 12 stars or fewer on your Autobot Cosmos with now 21 stars or fewer. So now Cosmos is going to be able to take down some of those really big beefy boys like Galactic Prime and some of those others, Shockwave, some of those other really big characters that we see that just to get out of reach of Cosmos, well, they're no longer going to be there, and we are going to be just completely blasting those characters out of the water now. Now, that's one of the big things that I want to talk about here when it comes to talking about these stratagems, is not really that they are just cool and it's a new cool card. It really is going to allow for some huge customization within characters. Now, you can choose if you want to put this on your Cosmos. Yes, it costs 1 star, but now you get to completely play this character again that you really wanted to. This character, again, you get to dust off and play with again, is going to be really, really interesting. I think another really cool part about this is that they did say that there are 45 character cards coming in with this new wave, 42 of which are going to be all new to the Transformers TCG. I will be showing off one of them here in just a second, and then the other 2 I would imagine are going to be Optimus Prime and Megatron, because they are obviously always going to be those big starter characters. But this is just going to allow for a part in the game that we just really haven't been able to do, right? My Cosmos has always been the same as your Cosmos. My Nemesis Prime has always been the same as your Nemesis Prime. Well, now we're going to be able to make a lot of these adjustments kind of on the fly. It'll be interesting to see if you can pull these out of the sideboard. There's obviously been nothing about that yet. However, you put them, you start your main team with them, and it can allow for some really cool deck building and really customization that this game is going to be bringing in, which is going to be really, really freaking awesome. And then obviously it's going to be able to make a lot of those previous characters that didn't get a lot of play some more play. Maybe they're going to do something really cool with another Wave 1 character, or even like a Wave 3 character that we're going to be able to go, oh, well, now this is really cool. This card always had this restriction. Well, now it doesn't have this restriction. So it'll be really interesting to see what else they do when it comes to these cards. So the next card we're going to be talking about here is going to be another stratagem, which is going to be Swap Heads, which is really, really awesome. So we're going to get that really cool Prime art from the box, and then that also is going to be Flame Out, who we will show off here in just a second on the other side of the art. Really cool stuff. And then it says, per game, when you flip one of your characters that has a character on it in head mode, you may swap that head with one of your other character's heads. When you do, flip this card. Now, it does say you get to put up up to 1 stratagem with characters that have the name trait on it. Stratagems begin on the battlefield. So this one is going to be pretty interesting to see how this card is going to essentially work out. It also does say flip this. However, we don't get to see what the other side of this card is, which is really, really cool. But this is going to allow you to be able to swap heads, just essentially like the card says. So you're not going to be restricted to how it all works. And the last thing talking about the swap heads here is it does say flip to its other mode. Now the reason behind this is because it does state in the article that some of them only have a one-time use when it comes to these stratagems. So there may be some really interesting abilities that characters do get access to. There may be some really interesting things that we get the choice of being able to use once in a game, and this card is going to be one. And once you flip it over, it will show that it is no longer active, that it is a deactivated stratagem essentially, and you have used the card. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any actions that are going to come out that maybe say, you know, you're allowed to flip your stratagem back over. Who knows if there's going to be something as far as that goes. There are really interesting things. Now, there are going to be 30 of these stratagems that we did talk about. There are going to be 10 common, 10 uncommon, and 10 rare stratagems when it does come to the new Wave 5. There's also a breakdown of what they're going to all do. Each common stratagem helps a named character card in Titan Master's attacks, which is really good. There are the easiest ones to use because obviously they just need one character to boost the function, and it does make these things really nice for limited play. One thing I was a little afraid about when it came to talking about, you know, seeing the packs was that, well, what happens if I get a stratagem from, you know, a Wave 1 character? Well, if I'm doing limited, I don't get that card. Well, some of these, I guess the most common ones that you're going to be seeing are going to be used for all of the same cards from the same wave, so we're going to be able to get access to a bunch of those, which is really awesome. And then it does say an uncommon stratagem is likely to help a specific team. They are a little harder to use, so it'll be really interesting to see as far as what that means. And then when it does say a rare stratagem is likely to help a character that is not in Master's attack. Again, like I said, you get to go take those old characters out, dust them off, and you get to play with them. Or maybe they're a really awesome card that doesn't need a whole lot of help and is just going to get even more powerful. It'll be really interesting to see. It also does say it will take much effort to play with these cards because they don't work at all unless you have the specific character card from a previous expansion. If you have a favorite character in the game that you always hoped would get their own signature card, these cards are meant to please you by breathing life back into these potentially forgotten characters from previous expansions. Now, I know one thing that was talked about with the previous stuff was that Volcanicus might be getting a little bit of love. I'm really hoping that this stratagem is going to be for Volcanicus, as well as some of the other ones. Maybe even Menasor is going to get some play. I'm really hoping that it might be some type of upgrade, or it may even be something else. It'll be really cool to see what these cards do allow you to be able to do, and maybe Volcanicus will be good. I'll tell you what, I've played Volcanicus a million times, and I'm going to try him a million times more. So if I can get a Volcanicus to be competitive, believe me, you guys will see it from me as soon as it becomes available. Now, I know I'm probably getting you all confused because you're like, Jamie, I don't even know what the head is. Well, let me show you the first one, which is going to be one of the first revealed cards, and that is going to be Flintlock. Now, all of these cards, all the head modes, are going to start on their characters that have the same trait, which are going to be in body mode. I'm going to show you guys how that all set up and all looks here in just a second because it can be a little confusing. However, all of these characters are going to start in alt mode, and you are going to be able to get the benefits from every head mode character at all times on both alt mode and bot mode. So for instance, when you do have Flintlock here, which is going to start in head mode, it does say that on the card. We'll talk about here in just a second. So your alt mode character that it is attached to and the bot mode character it is attached to will always have tough 3 built onto it, which is really, really amazing. For this character specifically, your opponent can't just go, okay, well, ramming speed your armor, okay, bashing shield your armor. You are going to be able to have that tough 3, which is super, super awesome. Now, you will notice that all of these head modes are going to have star cards, so their star count is going to be added to the character that you do attach them to initially. So let's say the character you are going to have them attached to is 10, and then this head is 4, so that does now become 14 stars towards your, total 25. Now, the way that this does read for the head mode, it says this begins in head mode on the alt mode of a character that has a body mode. Now that does mean that you are allowed to swap these around for whoever you want, so you are not required to have any specific head for any specific character body, which is really awesome. And that again kind of shows off that swap heads that we did just look at, where you get to move a lot of that around, which is really cool, because if you had to like limit one to the other, it would kind of suck. So really cool part on Wizard's team for being able to do something like that. Now it says when that character is KO'd, even if it was your last character, you get to deploy this to the battlefield in bot mode. So boom, after the character goes down that this was attached to, that character obviously gets KO'd. You get to now flip the head mode, which becomes a bot. Ah, that's so cool, man. The headmaster thing is really awesome. So it is really cool to see how they did get to put that into the set, how they did get to make a design and run so well. It's really awesome. Now, there is going to be a new text for these characters. This is going to be Flintlock, and he is going to be a Titan Master. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any support for that kind of stuff in the set. He is going to be a melee as well, which is really awesome. Has 4 attack and 4 armor with, 4 health and no armor. If he had 4 armor, that'd be nuts. No, he has no armor, and then it does say tough 3, and it is going to be a rare card. Now, being able to just start with a character with tough 3 before playing armors and stuff is pretty nutty, which is why this card is going to be a rare coming in. And then also, once you get Flintlock out, he has built-in tough 3 on the card as well. So again, your opponent's not going to be able to do a whole lot. So you're obviously going to probably be a little more towards the blue side of decks for this stuff. But being able to have that tough 3 built in there is really awesome. And we get to see that with something like Aimless, who has tough 3 and is always a really difficult character to take down. Now we're talking about the head of a character. It only makes sense that we now talk about the body of a character, and we have our first character returning into Wave 5. Like I said, they did say that there were 3 characters that are returning from the Transformers TCG, and then we have 42 new ones. Sargent Cup is going to be one of the returning ones. Now, Sargent Cup has been kind of a meme for quite a while in the Transformers TCG, ever since Wave 1 with his launch. But now we get a legitimate version, which is a really powerful character, and it does lead into another fantastic conversation and a new spoil thing coming in with Wave 5. Now, first off, we do have Sargent Cup, which is going to be a Wrecker leader. Now, it is going to be really relevant. We are going to talk about Wreckers here in just a second. He's going to be a leader, so Matrix of Leadership is really nice for him. He's going to be a truck, so get your cargo trailers out. He's going to also get the new text, which is going to be a Wrecker and is range. So just riddled with all kinds of really awesome text on this character. I would imagine he is going to get a lot of play coming in with Wave 5. Now, he does have 3 attack, 10 health, and 2 armor, which is really nice, and then has built-in tough 1. And then it says, which is going to be a new mechanic coming in, it seems like with most of the Wreckers, if not all of them, it says that when one of your Wreckers takes 1 or more damage during your turn, it gains that much attack until end of turn. So let's say you happen to play like a strafing run, which does 1 damage to all characters. Well, then boom, then this character is just going to get a +1 because you did 1 damage to it. However, if you do something like a one shall stand and you get to do 3 damage to your own character, 3 damage to something else, then you're going to get a +3 attack, which is really good stuff. This begins with a character on him in head mode. Now, we did show off that previous character, which is going to be Flintlock or whatever, and then he is going to be able to give us that tough 3. So meaning that head mode is on Sargent Cup. You are going to be able to get access to that tough 3, no matter whether or not he is in alt mode or in bot mode. So actually, Cup here in alt mode is going to have built-in tough 4. Built-in tough 4, which is really powerful, man. That is a lot of cards to be flipping on defense. I mean, a base of 6 cards, and if you flip a white, you're flipping for 8 cards now, which is pretty insane on how many cards you're gonna be flipping on defense. So having the lower health on this character at 10 does make sense, and then he's gonna be coming in with 7 stars. So again, if we have the previous character attached to him, then that is going to be 4 stars, bringing this to a total of 11 stars with your starting team. Now, if we flip over to Sargent Cup while in the other mode, it now becomes the body mode, which is very relevant because now cards such as marksmanship are no longer going to be able to target it because it is not bot mode, it is body mode. So a lot like the combiner mode, it is a specific mode, so that is one thing to check out. It does now gain 1 attack having 4, and then does sit in with the same 2 defense. The text on this says, when you flip to this mode, you may scrap a blue card from your hand. If you do, you get to scrap an enemy upgrade, which is really good. Again, man, upgrades are a huge thing in this game. They are very important. So being able to take momentum away from your opponent, remove one of their upgrades is going to be pretty nice stuff. And then also you're wanting to flip into this mode anyway because you're gaining the +1 attack. You're going to lose the tough 1, but you're still going to be able to keep that tough 3 from the head mode, which is really awesome. And then obviously be able to scrap an enemy upgrade is going to be really nice. And then you can always flip back if you want to go to the other mode, which is really, really cool. And this just looks really, really awesome. So let me show you guys exactly how this is going to look with also a new character. Alright, so we're going to be checking out Twin Twist here. Now I'm going to be showing off this card as well as because it was just a new spoiler as well. However, this is just mainly designed for you guys to be able to check out the art and see how it lines up. You actually get the character card on the bottom, and then on the top you are going to have an offset version of the battle card. The way the battle card will line up essentially on the side, and then they will literally line up where the head is supposed to be on the character, which I think is just a really, really cool concept. So just there are going to be some awesome sliders in the future. You guys can definitely wait and check that out, but let's go ahead and show off these characters as well. Alright, so the first character we're going to show here is going to be Flame Out. We're going to show him in head mode first, where he's going to be giving bold 2 at all times, again in alt mode or in body mode. Now this is going to be a 3-star card, so much like the other one, it does get attached to the starting total of the character it is attached to, and then obviously does go onto the character. And when that character is KO'd, boom, you get to flip him over to bot mode. It's going to be Flame Out, who's going to be a Titan Master and melee as well, coming in with 2 attack, 2 health, so probably one of the lowest healths that I think it is the lowest health that we've seen actually, and then 1 armor, and then does have bold 2. Now this is going to be a really nice thing because what happens usually is when your character is being KO'd, it's on your opponent's turn, right? And then so you're going to be able to get access to using Flame Out on your turn, even if it is your last character. Maybe you get one last stand, one last punch to see if you get to finish it out. And having bold 2 actually might be pretty relevant built into the character. And then if you can happen to put up an upgrade on there, or grenade launcher, all that good jazz, you might be able to get in for quite a bit of damage off of this character. And then the body mode coming in is going to be Twin Twist of Demolitions. Now he is going to be a tank. He's going to be a wrecker. Oh, yes, so excited for wreckers. And is going to be melee as well, coming in with 4 attack, 12 health, and 2 armor. It does say when you flip to this mode, this gets Pierce 3 until end of turn, which is a really good amount of Pierce. Now he is going to be 9 stars. So again, if you were to stack the previous head that we did see, that one was going to be 3 stars, so bringing it in for a total of 12 stars. And again, all of these heads are mix and match, so you can really choose to do whatever you want with these characters. Then when we get to flip over to the body mode, we are going to keep the wrecker, we're going to keep the melee, we go up to 5 attack, we have 12 health and 2 armor. Again, all those stay the same. And it says when you flip to this mode, your opponent chooses one of their characters and does 1 damage to it. If you flipped this character at least 2 times this turn, then instead you get to do 1 damage to each enemy, which is really, really interesting. So we're most likely going to be in body mode, and then we're going to want to be able to play like an escape route or a rapid conversion to be able to flip into the the alt mode, and then we're going to want to manually flip back over into the body mode, which is going to give you that double flip. You could also play a card such as Showing Off, which is going to allow you to flip back, from one mode to the other, and then you still get a flip for the turn, so you're going to be able to do 1 damage to each enemy, much like an armed hovercraft. And then showing this is going to be the new Wrecker symbol. So they did get to show us this, which is really cool. I know it is not the original Wrecker symbol. I think it looks pretty awesome. I'm really happy that there is a new symbol for the characters. I'm really happy to see that the characters have gotten their own tagline coming in with Wave 5. It's going to be really, really awesome to see who else that they do indeed fact release with this wave. Wes from our area did put up a huge list in our Discord as well as on the Facebook, which is going to have a lot of the possibilities for characters that do show up on the list. It is always a really good list. He kills it when it comes to these lists, and is usually dead on, or at least ridiculously close. So it'll be really interesting to see how the rest of this Wave 5 stuff does unfold. You are going to be able to get your hands on these cards coming in on April 18th. It is a Friday in the middle of April. I'm sure they'll be doing a bunch of release events. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more spoilers coming. If you guys do want me to cover spoiler season, please let me know down in the comment section below. It's something that I usually don't dive into other than my own spoilers if we do get any, but let me know again if you guys do want to see me cover spoilers coming in with Wave 5. Now, I really hope you guys did enjoy this breakdown of Wave 5. Again, let me know if you guys want to go down to the comment section below. And if you guys do want to see me cover Wave 5 spoilers, I'd be really happy to. I just want to make sure you guys see it because obviously it's a very saturated thing. So, and remember that if you guys are watching this, we are going to be live tonight. So make sure if you guys are around and you guys do want to stop in and watch some fun gameplay and some awesome commentary, that you guys come and check us out. And I will catch you guys in the next one.